Hi guys, sorry I was interrupted earlier. I was having a mail call. My landlord came down to give me some of the mail that I hadn't realized was upstairs. But it was important mail, so I'm glad he came down and gave it to me. But let me see. I don't remember quite where I was on the last stream. But I do remember I said something about a unique mail to fit my unique personality. And you probably don't understand what I mean by a unique man who's as unique as me. Well, you already know the people I admire, like Kim Jae-joon, Gak Kamai, and many other music artists. I don't do well with models or all that stuff. I don't have any use much for those. I'm more of a musically inclined person, have been since I was a child. I love music. Music is my life, practically. You could name, Lord, 100 songs that would fit the soundtrack of my life. Because many of these songs played important parts in my life or have a theme to them that's a lot like what I've done in my life or connected to events in my life. Strawberry Wine. Yes, the legendary country song by Deanna Carter. That song goes back to my first love and the time we spent together. No, it wasn't July, it was May, but still. The song suited what happened to us at that time. It also explained what happened throughout the time when we separated and everything changed. Like I told you, we got married and everything. I also like songs like the song Last Song by Gak Kamai. That song is in my heart very much because it reminded me of times when I'd been hurt or other things had gone wrong. And I was desperately crying out that I remembered the love that we had, and I miss it. I honestly miss that first love, that youthful, young feeling of being in love with somebody and giving everything you have to them, and you're including your entire heart. I always remember that. And I just can't help that. You know, there are so many songs out there. Jae-joon's song, Paradise. Yeah. Let me show you what you're missing. Yeah, that's kind of like my words to the males out there that could have an interest in me. Let me show you what you're missing. I could be your paradise, your angel, your miracle. No, I'm not going to toot my own horn. I'm not going to say I'm an angel or a miracle because I'm far from either one. I'm most certainly not an angel. If anything, I have a bit more devil in me. But being sweet and kind, I can be. You know, it's part of my personality. I am kind and sweet towards others, those I care about. You know, I'm not cold or aloof like some people like to say, or like my horoscope likes to say. I'm a Virgo. Apparently we're supposed to be cold and aloof and stray away from things a lot. But I'm a warm person. And as Daughtry says, I may not be a saint, but I have a heart of gold. Problem is that heart has got me in trouble many a time. I have done things and said things or protected people because of my kind heart. And it ended up getting me in a lot of trouble. Yeah, I mean, seeing everything that happened, it hurt. I was being used. I mean, they didn't mean to, I'm sure. But that's what ended up happening. You used me. I mean, you may have loved me, but you still used me to get what you wanted. And, you know, that's just not something you really should do. Gak Kamai and Jae-joon both suit that unique personality I'm looking for in a man. And what I mean by that is the fact that Jae-joon is both beautiful inside, well, beautiful with a beautiful face, a nice body, and a spectacular voice that still makes my heart ring every time I hear it. Gak Kamai was the same. He was the first Asian artist I ever listened to. And that deep voice of his, that That would make my heart tremble like I don't know what. But I fell in love with his voice before I even saw his face. Jae-jung, I saw his face. The first time I saw him was in a drama called Protect the Boss, which, by the way, was a really cute drama. It was about two cousins who were fighting for a company. One had social anxiety to a major extent. The other was a bad boy who had been involved with an ex to his cousin. Well, a girl from that drama, a girl that he met was brought in to help him over one cousin, played by Jisung, by the way. Yes, Jisung, another K-pop actor that I absolutely adore. He was really social anxiety. And they brought a girl in to help him because she was the first one to get him to open up more than he had ever in his life. Well, both cousins fell in love with the same girl. Jae-jung, I didn't know who he was at the time. That was the first time I'd ever seen his face. And then it was later that I found out that he was not just an actor, he was a singer too. Just the same with Kim Hyung-jun. I didn't know he was a singer when I first saw him either. But when he was in Protect the Boss, I got curious. I was like, who is that pretty face? Who is this guy? And I started looking him up, and I started looking through everything to find out who he was. And that's when I discovered TVXQ and JYJ. And I pretty much stuck to him over time, and he became my number one bias. Korean bias. My number one Japanese bias, of course, is Kamai, Gact. They both have done almost everything you could do in the entertainment business. Well, Gact more than Jae-jung. Jae-jung has been an actor, a singer, and a model. Gact Kamai has also been a model, a singer, an actor, but he's also been a playwright. He wrote Moonchild. He wrote it, directed it, and starred in it. According to rumors I've heard, he even created his own clothing line recently. He was also in a stage play, or in his video, Sakura Chiaru, he showed scenes from a stage play where he played a Japanese warrior of old. And I didn't quite understand the whole story. I gathered that two men were in love with the same woman, and the woman died. And he performed this on stage. I don't know if it was just part of the video or if he actually did that. But if he did, then he's done everything you can think of in the entertainment business. And he's the kind of man, like I said, who's unique, and I admire. Because he's talented. He's gifted. He's gifted with so many different gifts. And I adore that. His personality is as unique as mine. I even heard he had a weak body or weak lungs when he was younger. And he would give his all when he performed on stage and even collapse more than once. He's been in a hospital a few times because he collapsed. Because he gave his all in that performance, and it strained his body, which was not always as strong as it was. I've seen a video of a friend of him visiting the grave of a friend who died years ago. Like 16 or 17 years ago, when he was still a member of basically the J-rock band Malice Mizer. This member apparently lost his life to an aneurysm or something like that. And Gact still visits his grave and still cries over his loss, even though it's been almost 20 years. He has a daughter. Yes, he has a daughter. And he was also married at a young age. He was married, I think, at 20. Of course, the marriage didn't last long, but I mean, yeah, Gact himself has had quite a few bad things and rumors and stories about him, too. The daughter was from a relationship he had with a Korean woman. And according to the story, he sent his daughter away with a Korean woman because it wasn't sexy for a J-rock artist to have a family. Which, by the way, I believe that to be bullshit. There are people, we have musicians and actors and idols here in America, even when they become family men, they're still considered sexy, and they're still considered a sex idol. But that's what the rumor said, that he sent his daughter and the girl to Canada to stay out of his spotlight so no one would know that the sexy J-rocker had a family, because that was not considered sexy. I'm sorry, but There are actors, singers all over the world who are still gorgeous, still sex idols, even if they have families, even if they are married. I mean, Kim Jae-won, one of my favorite actors from the series Can You Hear My Heart, the drama. I fell in love with him. He played a deaf boy in that drama. And he fell in love with a girl, and she helped him through his pain. His family, he was a rich boy whose family hid his disability. They were afraid to admit in front of public that their son had a hearing problem, that he was deaf. They're afraid to admit it, and they had him hide it. She's the one that gave him the courage to stand up to his family and the public and admit to his disability, that he couldn't speak, that he couldn't hear. You know, I loved him in that drama. It was the only drama I've ever seen by him. I've also seen his movie 100 Days with Mr. Arrogant. I love both of those performances. They were absolutely awesome. Kim Jae-won is now married. Supposedly there was a story going around that he got a girl pregnant. She's not an idol. She's not in the entertainment business. But when she got pregnant, he married her, called her his intimate friend, and he ended up marrying her. I'm sorry, but he's still sexy. He's still beautiful, even though he's married. Ahn Jae-yoon. From my drama Blood, one of my favorite vampire dramas of all time. Second only to Scholar Who Walks the Night with my oppa, Lee Joon-gi. And yes, I can call him oppa because he's a year older than me. Oppa is a term in Korea used for your sweetheart or your brother. Your older sweetheart or your older brother should probably be the better term. Lee Joon-gi is the only one I can call oppa. Well, him and So Ji-sub, another actor from Oh My Venus and Master's Son. You know, I love him too. They're the only man I can actually call oppa because they're the only ones older than me. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're married. It doesn't matter if you have children. If you have a family, you are still a sexy person. Rain is married and he has a kid. He's still sexy. He is known as Korea's crooner. And believe me, crooner suits that husky voice of his. I still see him as gorgeous, sexy, and that voice, oh my God, girl. Girls and boys, that voice, just like Jae-jung or Jagact, made my heart tremble. It was so gorgeous. I think my favorite song by him, besides Rainism, was I Love You and Baby, because that crooner voice of his came out. I mean, I don't know if Gact was the one who made the choice to send his daughter away, or if that was a choice of his of his record company. And I don't, condemn him for it or think it's a terrible thing. At that time, that was a choice that had to be made because his career was on the rise. I mean, he was great in Malice Miser, well known for his cross-dressing. It's called K-Visual Rock, or Visual K-Rock. There we go. It's where they dress in awesome cosplay costumes. Some guys dress like girls. I mean, there are several bands where a girl, a member you thought was a girl, was actually a guy in drag. Gact was gorgeous no matter if he was a guy or a girl. Visual K is an awesome, awesome genre. I love the costumes they wear. When he went on his solo career, he blew his solo career out of the water. And his Visual K costumes, oh, I loved them all. They were so awesome looking. Like when he did his album for Final Moon, those costumes he wore in those videos and on the album itself, those are awesome costumes. The man is beautiful inside and out. Yes, he's worn blue contacts most of his career, and now he's showing off his brown eyes. He's beautiful either way. I love him with either color eyes. He's gorgeous. He's 10 years older than me, so yeah, I can call him oppa if he was Korean, but he's Japanese. But yeah, he is one of my biggest inspirations. During the times when I've been broken, before I even knew what K-pop was, it was Gact who helped me through some of my rough edges, who helped me push through some of my sadder and more unattractive events in my life. Like I said, Last Song is one of my favorites. The song December Love Song that he wrote for 9/11. That terrible tragedy that happened my senior year of high school when the Twin Towers in New York were blown up by terrorists. He wrote the song December Love, and it is probably one of the most gorgeous songs. I've heard the English version and the Japanese version. I love both of them. That is one of the most ultimately beautiful songs. He even went to New York itself and performed that song back, I believe it was in 2001, 2004, to show his support for what happened to us. Yes, he was mostly speaking for Japanese Americans as much as he was speaking for all the other Americans who had suffered from the tragedy of the 9/11. 9/11 was horrible. It was probably one of the saddest days in history. And yes, I was a senior in high school at the time. And I just turned 18 no more than 8 days before that event happened. It was horrible. And it still makes me sad to this day. Because we lost thousands of lives that day because of some people, again, in the name of religion and belief, destroying other people and making war. Yes, I'll still speak out against that. They destroyed the Twin Towers because it was part of their religion. They were suicide bombers. Their beliefs caused them to sacrifice themselves for what they thought was their cause. Again, religion causes murder. It's ridiculous. And I still say this. What happened back then was stupid, terrible, and whoever ever thought that that was a good thing to do, not cool. Not cool at all. You did a horrible thing, and you changed the world for the ultimate, and that's horrible. But back to a better subject, because I know you don't want to hear any more about that, sorry. But I do go on a rant every once in a while. As you've noticed in my videos, I sometimes go off subject because something about that subject leads to another subject. So yeah, I go on rants and I change my subject, and I will go right back to it though. Gakt Kamai is totally awesome. That man has done everything in the entertainment business possible. He has pushed himself beyond his limits, and he has shown the world how truly awesome he is. He is gorgeous. He is beautiful. And I would truly love to meet that man and thank him, because he helped me through my rough times. He wrote song, like I said, the 9/11 song, December Love. Not many artists have written about such events as that. He, I think, was one of the only ones that has said something. Well, that and the country star, Alan Jackson, Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning? Yes, I still listen to some country because that song is also heartfelt. Where were you when the world stopped turning? Where were you when all this went down and when the Twin Towers were destroyed? Songs that are written about terrible events are generally some of the most beautiful songs you'll ever hear, because they're speaking a truth from the heart of the artist. Gakt obviously has a really big heart. To be able to still care after almost 20 years of a loss of a friend, to write a song about a tragedy that wasn't even in his country, but was in another country. Music is life. Like I said, my life is a soundtrack, but it's a pretty good bet that everybody's life is a soundtrack. Many songs will describe an event in a person's life. That's what music's all about. Touching your heart, touching your soul. Being able to feel what that song is saying to you because you understand it. That's why Kim Jae-jung's song Sign. I'm waiting for my sign too, for my love that I'm supposed to have for a lifetime. Paradise. That's my way of saying, hey, look at me, you're missing something that you might appreciate. And, they just speak. They speak to the heart of the people, and that was the whole point of music. Not just for entertainment reasons, not just because there's so much talent out there, but because music speaks to people. And I listen to so many songs. That's why I love the band Daughtry, because many of the songs Daughtry sang speak to me too. September, Tennessee Line, Home, and many, many others by that artist because they speak to me. September is time of my birthday, but it's also a time of old memories. When I was with my best friends, they used to live in the woods outside of a town called Grafton here in Illinois. So they lived outside of town in the woods. We would go running through the woods all the time, enjoying just being there, having time with each other. We'd have bonfires, drink together, party together, sleep together. And no, I don't necessarily mean sex. No. When we slept together, it was side by side, keeping each other company and taking care of each other. I still remember one time when we ventured through the woods, we got surrounded by a pack of coyotes. It was me, my best friend Chris, my friends Cody, Chris's little brother Jake, and Chris's cousin Jason Cassins. I was in the middle. I was the only girl in the group, and I had two guys, two in front, two in behind. The guys put me in the middle to protect me because I was the only female in the set. The coyotes would have had to get through with them to get to me, and they made sure of that. These were my boys. These were my boys that I grew up with, my closest, dearest friends, and Chris is still my best friend to this day, over 20 years later. They protected me and took care of me, and I, in turn, did the same. I've had a crush on my best friend from the day I met him when I was 13. And that crush continued throughout the years. It's just he didn't have a romantic interest in me at all during those years. The romantic interest didn't come till 12 years later. That's when the best friends started changing a little bit. And we started having feelings for each other that weren't necessarily just best friend. And I still love my best friend to this day. I'm not in love with him, and he's not in love with me. Heaven knows no. He's got a fiance and a kid with her. And I'm happy for him, more than fucking happy. Because I want him to be happy. That child is the first biological child that he has had. And I completely adore the fact that he finally has his own blood child. Yes, he has two other children, but they aren't his bloodline. They're his by heart, by choice. Good men who get in relationships with women who already have children, they will see those children as their own and protect and care for them and raise them the same as if the child was born of their own blood. Chris is a good man. Probably the best man I know. And I admire men who are like that, who can make exceptions, can love children despite their blood not being theirs. My first stepdad, Lonnie, loved us girls, didn't care that we weren't his bloodline. He even used to call my father for permission to do things with us girls. He loved us like we were his own. The fact that we weren't blood related didn't matter to him. And it's not, that rule doesn't just go for men. It goes for women too. My ex-fiance has 2 daughters. When I was with him years ago, when I first met him, when I first dated him at 17, he didn't have any children. But about 4 years later, he did have a daughter with one of his ex-girlfriends. And when we got back into a relationship again, because we ran back and forth between each other for 6 years, neither one of us wanting to give up on the other. I mean, yeah, eventually we went our own separate ways and made choices that we didn't want to be together anymore because the love we had really wasn't ever real. I never loved my ex-fiance, not the way he wanted me to. Sure, I thought I did. I even tricked my mind into thinking I was in love. But I wasn't. My first love was my only, really. All the boys I had that I thought I loved after that was not real. It was a trick of the mind. A desperate cry for a girl, a desperate act for a girl to believe that she could be loved. I felt sorry that I couldn't love them the way they wanted to. And I really wish I could, but it's not as easy as you think. Falling in love, everybody says, oh, it's easy. Not really. Not really at all. But my ex-fiance, back to his story, he did have a daughter with his ex. And when we went back to each other several times, I helped him with her. I accepted his daughter. It didn't matter to me that I wasn't the one who gave birth to her. What mattered to me is that she mattered to my ex and that he wanted to love her and take care of her. I was right there with him the whole time. I had no problem. Even to this day, he would still trust me with his daughter, and he has a right to. I would raise any child, mine or otherwise, to be a good person, to be better than I was, and to change this world. I haven't had children so far. I'm almost 35 years old. It probably wouldn't be a good idea at this point. But even if I had a kid, I would make sure they grew up in all the same ideas, beliefs, and mindsets that I was taught as a child. Lonnie, Mom, all of them. I would have raised that baby to be a respectful little boy or girl and to understand the truth of life. I would not hold back. I would give them reality when they were old enough to handle it. I would have raised them to understand life's a choice. You must earn things. It's never given. There are people out there who think that they have a right to something, or that they are privileged, or that, they should have stuff without having to earn it. Not true. Not true at all. You want something, you earn it. It's not given to you. Respect is earned, never given. Love is earned, never given. Well, it can be given by family, yes. You don't have to earn your family's love. It's given you from birth. But a lot of times in a relationship, you have to earn the love of a man or woman. You have to earn their love because you have to be able to reciprocate it, which is not always easy, no. I'll tell you the truth, it isn't. Like I said, I have broken hearts because I couldn't love others, because I had a hard time with it. But you are not there. You have no right to everything. You earn everything. Relying on others to get what you want, never good. I mean, I rely on others to help me when I have a situation I have no way out of, yes. Because I have no other way out, so I have to rely on someone to give me help. That's how I ended up here in Glen Carbon. I was in an ugly situation that I need to get out of. My friends pulled me out of it and let me live here with them to calm down and redo my life and put things into a better perspective. And I owe them a very big thank you for that. Once I move, I will make sure they know that I am grateful for everything they have done for this past year for me. That's what you do. When somebody helps you, you always show your gratitude. You earn someone's trust. It's not given to you. You must earn it. Respect must be earned, never given. Just because you have money or privilege or societal rank doesn't mean that everything is given to you, that you are entitled. It means that you work even harder to make sure that you have a right to earn that. You work hard. You don't rely on other people to get you where you want. You rely on yourself. And you are not entitled to anything but your family's love. You have to earn every other thing. You have to be able to work. You have to be able to push yourself to earn your right. I went to college because I earned it. I went to the military for 4 years, got college money, and I used it because I earned it. I'm on disability. I am 60% disabled because my back and knees were both injured severely while I was in service. Disability is not given to me because I'm entitled to it. It was given to me because I earned it. I earned my injuries. I earned that money because I pushed myself beyond my limit and hurt myself. College money, I earned it with my military service. I wasn't entitled to it. I earned it with my own blood, sweat, and tears. I earned every bit of it. And to me, that's what you do in life. You earn everything. You don't think you're entitled. You don't think you're privileged. I'm sure you've heard of the expression noblesse oblige. That expression basically means those who have more than others should share their wealth. They should be able to support others, take care of them, and give them some kind of help. Just because you have money doesn't mean you stay greedy, doesn't mean you're stingy. It means you share your wealth with others, that you make other people have an easier time because you're willing to help them because you have the money to do it when they don't. You're not entitled to anything. You earn it. And noblesse oblige, you may have money, you may have power, but money and power at the end of the day aren't everything. They say money buys happiness. No, it don't. It can buy you a temporary happiness, or it can buy you material things that can make you happy. But true happiness comes from family. True wealth is not money. It's family, friends, circles, cliques, people who care about you and stand beside you and help you. That is true wealth. Money? It comes, it goes. But friends and family stay forever. So remember that. If you ever are the kind of person that thinks you're entitled or privileged, or if you're rich and you think, oh, I'm rich, I don't have to do crap, I've already got what I deserve, remember, you're not entitled. Share. There are people in bad situations, not just in third world countries that you hear about, but in this country too. We have several homeless people, some veterans, some because life has handed them a really bad card. There are people on the streets, children without a home, because life gave them something that put them into a very bad position. Help them. If I had money, if I was wealthy, the first thing I would do would build shelters for those who need a home. I would look into orphanages and see if there's anything I can do to help or to build or create, because I believe in generosity. I am honest to a fault, and I do lie, but only if it means saving someone else or saving myself from a really bad emotional break. I'm not entitled to anything. Everything I have, I've earned. And if you don't understand that concept, then you're seeing the world through rose-colored glasses and not through the real obvious things that you need to be seeing. If I could help people, I would. Problem is, I can barely help myself right now. You have to help yourself into a good situation before you can help someone else out of their bad one. Yes, you have to earn everything to put yourself in a good place to be able to help others. But try. There are some who are born to wealth and privilege, and they're not always very generous. They're stingy, stuck up, rude, and snobby. Those who have earned money by being a star, an idol, a movie, an actor, whatever it is you are, whatever celebrity type you are, there are many of them out there who are rude, unkind, selfish, stingy, and snobby. They think because they're above you, because they've earned their money and earned a fortune by doing movies, music, and other things, they're above you. They're more important than you. You don't matter because you're not part of my circle. This is the attitude a lot of wealthy celebrities have, and it's not pretty. I don't care if you're a celebrity. I don't care what country you're from, which celebrity you are, how you earned your money. Share it. Don't be stingy. Don't be snobby. We're all human. Just because we don't have your kind of money or your societal rank doesn't mean we're any less important than you. So watch it, dude, or dudette in some cases. Being a bitch or a jerk because you have money, being a snob because you think you're above other people, let me put it to you this way. No one's above anyone. We all live, we all die. We all earn our money in different ways. We all go into a casket in the ground or become ashes in an urn. We all die in the same ways. We all get buried or memorized in a funeral different ways. The same ways, actually. Just because you live your life with wealth, privilege, and good stuff doesn't necessarily mean that you have a right to treat others like trash, that you're not better than they are, because you're not. You're not better than anyone. No one is better than anyone. Some people have better personalities. Some have better choices or have made better choices in their lives, but they're not better than people. They've just done a better job. Don't be a snob. Don't be a jerk. We all live the same way. We all die the same way. Just because you're a celebrity or have money does not mean you're above being human. Be human. Do not be a monster. This world needs people with wealth to share it and give to them. Like I said, third world countries are not the only ones that are suffering right now. Our country is broke too. We need help too. But no one's offering to help us. There's celebrities out there with fortunes at their hands. They're not helping. They don't frankly care. As long as their career can keep going or whatever they're doing can keep going, they don't care if somebody else has bad luck or somebody else is broke. Sorry, guys, but that's the rudest behavior you could ever have. So if you're wealthy, share. Don't be a snob. We all get buried in caskets or turned to ashes. We all go to the same places, whatever afterlife or new life that you're heading to. In death, you won't have your rank, your privilege, or your money. All you'll have is your bones and your body and your blood. And even those fade till you're nothing more than a skeleton in the ground or a set of ashes in an urn. Stop being a snob. It's not worth it. Take care of others. Be generous. Support those who need you. If I had money, rank, and privilege, I would do everything I could to help. Charity events, building homeless shelters, whatever I could do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of you are out there saying, oh, even if she had rape, she wouldn't do that. No, it's just a story she's telling. I would like to think that even if I had money, my personality wouldn't change. I would still be the same person I have been for 35 years. At least I would like to think that's who I would be. I would still have a kind and generous heart that I have. Like I said, I'm not a saint, but I do have a heart of gold. If you want to love me, go ahead. If you want to carry me or be my friend, I accept all people. I may not like some of the darker aspects of life. And no, I'm not very much for rapists, serial killers, or molesters. Matter of fact, if you ask me, they all should be chemically castrated. Just say. And if they're a murderer, they should be locked up for life. Molesters and rapists should be chemically castrated. There are some people you can't change. People who was born that way or made that way to where their mind is so twisted, you can't change them. You can try. You can do all you want. But there are some people you can't save, and there are some people you cannot change. Doctors can't save everyone, but they can try. You can't love everybody, but you can try. Make an effort. Make yourself a life worth living. If you make yourself worth it, there are people that will generally love you and take care of you and want to be with you because you've made yourself into a good person. You've made better choices. Yes, I'm probably causing a lot of controversy with these, in my opinions, but these are exactly that, my opinions. If you want to be controversial about it, that's your choice. But I'm only telling you the truth as I see it. Money and power mean nothing without love, and nothing without family or friends. You can be a king on a tower and you're still going to be lonely because you're not going to have anyone around you because you've chased them all off or you've blocked them all from your life because you think they're not worth your time. Don't. Live this life in a way that makes sure you leave an imprint on this world before you leave it. The reason I share my videos and do the things I do or say what I say in these videos is because I'm giving my honest opinions and I'm hoping that in some way I can help somebody or many somebodies if I can. I want people to know that they're just as much a unique queen or king as me. That you can be a good person and prove to yourself, even with your own flaws, even with all the trouble you've had in your past or the controversies you've caused. You can still be a good person. You can still stand up for yourself and stand up for the life you want. Leave an imprint on this world, a positive imprint on this world. Let people know who you are. Maybe in some way, like what I'm doing, what I say can help somebody. And I hope that you are not afraid to listen. And I hope that you don't get angry or upset or emotional because what I'm saying doesn't suit what you think. I want to help you. I want you to know that you are beautiful inside and out. It doesn't matter if you're as beautiful as Gact or Kim Jae-jung or if you're plain as the salt of the earth. You're beautiful in some way or another. Gact and Jejun have proven that their faces are not the only beautiful thing about them. They've also proven they have a good heart beneath all that. And I would definitely like to meet them both. Say thank you for helping me through my hard times. And thank you for showing your heart to others, because that's what they've done. They showed their heart to other people. They reached out to you or others to let you know that they've been there, or that they'll be there for you, or that they understand what you're going through. Call me sentimental, say I'm imagining things, but I still have this feeling in my own gut and my own heart that these two honestly mean a lot of what they say or sing in their songs. I honestly mean everything I say. Like I said, I can lie, but I don't. Honesty is the best possible lie, like I said, was to protect someone else or protect me from an emotional breakdown or protect someone else's feelings in some cases. I don't know what you honestly think of the world. I don't know what any of you think of me, what few of you have seen me, but I do know that I have many friends in this world, all over the world. And I love each and every one of them just the same as I did the first day I met them. And I hope they still love me and still want to be my friends and stay at my side and help me and let us help each other through the worst of our events. Like I said, we are many different kinds of queens and kings. You have manic depressants. You have assault victims. You have those who suffer from postpartum depression after having babies. You have people who suffer from depression and anxiety on a daily basis, and some who suffer some very severe illnesses, some even fatal, like leukemia and cancer. But every single one of them is beautiful in some way, and every single one of them needs somebody to be with them, to watch over them, help them. Even if you can't save them, be there for them and let them know that they're not alone. That you love them no matter what. That's all for now, my beautiful ones. And remember, be yourself, change for no one, compromise when you need to, love where you want. Just be you. You are beautiful no matter who you are. Face, body, even if you don't have the most beautiful of faces or body like me. I'm pretty much a plain Jane, but I'm pretty in some ways, just like everybody else. Take care of yourself, love others. This world's about caring, about being there to support each other and do the right thing. Make an impression in your life. Make an impression on others. Let them know that you exist. Don't be afraid. Stand up. If you've been through a bad thing, don't let it get you down. Fight back. We are warriors born. And that's all we ever will be, is a warrior. We fight. We're realistic. We step up when we're needed, even if it's against ourselves. We all have demons. We all have skeletons in our closet. We just have to get over them and step up when we need to. All right? I love you all. Goodbye, my beloved ones. I will talk to you another time.